Personally, I've actually been very confused as to what teams will get to go to the League of Legends Season 3 World Championship in LA. Sure, I have an idea of what teams there might be from Europe and North America, as well as Southeast Asia already being decided. But when you look over at the other regions, it's a bit more complicated. So what I will try to do is help you get an understanding of how the World Championship will look like. Taiwan. Taiwan is actually in a good spot. Since Taipei Assassins won Season 2, they got a free spot into the quarterfinals with their only team. However, TPA won't be going this year as they have already been knocked out. Their sister team, Taipei Snipers, are looking good however. They got to the finals through the winners bracket, meaning they are already one game up on their opponents, Gamania Bears, which also have been looking strong. They played each other in the group stage and it ended with a 1-1, so this might be a very interesting final. Wildcard. The wildcard tournament is actually going on as I'm making this video. One team from one of the minor servers get to go to Worlds. While Latin America's Lion are already out, Brazil's Pain Gaming are looking really strong. Immunity from Oceania shocked everyone with their crushing wins against Lion and Turkey's Dark Passage. However, Lithuania's Gaming Gear EU beat them in the round robin, so the spot is still wide open for every team that is left. All teams had to win a tournament to get to the qualifier, so none of the teams are new to playing on a stage. China. Here is where things get complicated. Two teams from China will go to Worlds. This will be decided on the Chinese regionals. OMG and IG are already qualified to it after getting first and second place in LPL spring season. The summer season is really close. OMG is in first place, but since they have already qualified, we go down to second place, where three teams sit right now. Team WE, Royal and Positive Energy. Positive Energy is the only team that doesn't have a negative record against any of the teams that they still have to play in the remainder of the LPL, while WE have a negative against two of the teams. On the other hand, Royal is right now on a 4-win streak, but they still have one game left to play against OMG, along with Team WE. Positive Energy have already played their 3 games versus OMG, so they don't have to worry about them. Young Glory and TMQ TNC can still make it in, but they are both in a velocity position. They have to win every game as well as other team losing theirs. OMG is looking as a strong favorite going to the Chinese regionals, and they might very well get that quarterfinal spot into Worlds. Korea. Oh, Korea. Why do you have to be so complicated? Korea uses a circuit point system, so depending on a team's position in OGN winter, spring and summer, as well as NLB winter, spring and summer, you get circuit points. If you get knocked out of OGN in the group stage or quarterfinals, you get to play in NLB instead. This means that NLB will give you less points than the top 4 spots in OGN. The first and second place team in the Korean circuit will go straight to Worlds, while the 3rd to 6th place team will have to play in the Korean regionals. This is because Korea won the All-Star tournament and got an extra spot. The top 6 teams are already decided, but how they finish among the top 6 are not. Teams are OGN Winter and NLB Spring winners Najim Black Sword, OGN Spring winners MVP Ozone, both CJ Entus Blaze and Frost, KT rolls their bullets as well as SK Telecom T1. CJ Entus Blaze and Frost has no chance of getting first or second place in the circuit, so they will have to do their best at the regionals. This means that only one of these teams can go to Worlds, and it might not even be either of them. Najim Black Sword is in a fairly good spot, sitting at the top with 500 points. They are also in the finals of the NLB Summer, meaning that they will get either 70 or 100 points, putting them at either 570 or 600. KT rolls their bullets is looking really interesting. They right now sit at only 200 points, but they are in the OGN finals, meaning they will end at either 400 or 600 points. MVP Ozone still has their semi-final to play against SK Telecom T1. They both went 3-0 in their quarterfinals, so no one knows what to expect going into this game. If MVP Ozone goes to the final, they lock in the first place seed going into Worlds, since they right now sit at 420 points, and their minimum will be 620. If they lose both the semi-final and the third place match against Frost, then either KT Rolls the Bullets or SK Telecom T1 can take their safe spot into Worlds depending on who wins OGN. Here comes another interesting part. If Najim Black Sword loses the NLB final, while MVP Ozone loses the semi-final but wins the third place match in OGN, they both end up at 570 points. If then SK Telecom T1 wins the final, both MVP Ozone and Najim Black Sword go safe to Worlds. However, they might have to play a tiebreaker of who gets the spot straight into the quarterfinals. If KT Rolls the Bullets win, however, they might have to play a tiebreak match to see who goes to Worlds and who has to go through the Korean regionals. Speaking of the Korean regionals, it's also very different from all the others. It starts with the 6th place team in the circuit playing against the 5th. The winner of that game gets to play the 4th place team, and the winner of that gets to play the 3rd place team. All games are in a best of 5. This way it feels like the season actually matters. Depending on your position, you have a better chance of getting through. Not like LCS, where the 6th place team has the same chance as the 3rd place team. And with it only being 8 teams instead of 22 like in the Korean circuit, it makes LCS feels useless in that regard. Anyway, I hope this gave you a better understanding of how the World Championship will look. If enough people request it, I will make an updated video later. I've been Namath, see you guys in the Rift.